welcome to CCM Motorcycles, and we've got a little treat for you today. Now, going back a couple of years, we launched a fantastic bike called the Spitfire, and even we didn't know what this bike was going to do for CCM Motorcycles. It took the London Bike Show by storm. We announced that we were going to build 150 of them, and we thought that that would keep us busy for maybe the whole of the rest of the 12 months, selling, building, and so on. The bike sold out in a week, and that really reinvigorated CCM Motorcycles' fortunes. At that point, there were only 17 of us working in CCM in Bolton. Since then, our numbers have swollen to 50, and we've got a new recruit. We know him as Carl, and you know him as Foggy. Hi, great to see you. Well, yeah, good, all good. So, I don't think Carl really needs much of an introduction, but for those who might not have seen this fella before, well, of course, he was one of the most successful world superbike riders, really unbeaten for how many years?
I think about 25 years.
About 25 years. So, you know, Carl, it was one of the great treats to watch Carl on a Saturday afternoon, really mixing it with the best in the world.
Or even Sunday.
Yeah.
Even Sunday.
Oh, in the Sunday. Absolutely. But since then, of course, you've done many, many other things. A lot of people who maybe not into motorcycles have learned of you from the small screen, King of the Jungle.
Yeah, that's right. I'm in the real jungle now, aren't I, to be honest. Yeah, it's actually on the moment, so yeah, that was an experience I'll never forget. I don't know where to start with that one, but yeah, you have to do these kind of shows, obviously through, become, I guess, a household name through my success in superbike in its heyday, in the golden era of it, really, when it was TV was massive with it, and the crowds, everything. So, you know, by winning that and just being involved in something new, I guess, it kind of broadens your appeal to, you know, people outside of racing, and yeah, you have to do crazy shows like that, and Strictly Come Dancing, but I'm not doing that one, you're alright. You're not getting me in a pink sequin, top throwing shapes, no chance.
So we'll put CD sequins, yeah.
I'll put Mr. Wisdom's name down for that one.
So, of course, biking is why we're here. So, tell us about the story, Foggy. How did you get into biking?
My dad used to race motorbikes, so I think, as I said before, whatever you get brought up around as a kid, the chances are you're going to do it as a hobby or profession or whatever. And so for me, it was being around motorcycles, and especially the Outland TT, my dad racing there, and you know, that was our family holiday for 2 weeks basically, and yeah, so being around bikes, all I wanted to do was race motorbikes really, so I'm just glad he didn't play cricket.
Well, petrol in the blood, and of course, you know, there's a bit of petrol in the blood here. You've had a long-standing relationship with CCM. Tell us a bit about how you came across Austin and the family.
Yeah, I've known Austin's one of the best mates, to be fair. I can say it like that because he's not here today. I've known him for 20 years, maybe more. I've known the family for 30 years, really. So I've kind of been involved in, you know, dipped my toes in a few times over the years. I think the last time I was involved a little bit was when you brought the bike out, not too dissimilar to this really. It was called an FT35, and I think it was 2005. But me and Macalla did some PR stuff for the guys for TCM there. Photographs with the bikes and stuff, so like I said, we've kind of dipped our toes in and out before, and we stayed in touch, and like I said, my mate, one of my best mates, we talk about bikes a lot, and I was saying maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I felt they should be doing something more like what they did with that FT35 in 2005, and maybe not so much the off-road stuff, and I think Austin took that on board, and he showed me these pictures of the Spitfire bike just over 2 years ago, and I went, oh my god, that's Steve nailed it. That's, people are going to love that bike, you know. So yeah, and I think he wanted me to get involved maybe last year or before, and I said, look, I'm contracted to somebody else at the moment, to the manufacturer, as an ambassador sort of thing, not too far away from here. But you know, I'll just speak to him when my contract's up, and yeah. So this summer I spoke to him. He said, look, I don't just want to come on board and just, you know, just smile and have selfies and, you know what I mean, sign a few autographs. I want to get more hands-on, and he also said, look, the Spitfire family's there, I want you to throw a Foggy edition into the family. So just take the Spitfire and do whatever you want to it. Just make it your kind of bike, really. So I was really excited about doing that, and obviously this is it now, really. I kind of took the bike and thought, well, if I'm going to do this, kind of try and make it something that you associate with me, I guess, from like obviously racing in the 90s on a certain red bike with number 1 on it. So we kind of went for that racy kind of style. I sat down on the cab thing with Chris, who's the chief designer, and I said, look, and he had similar ideas to me as well. I said, let's make it like a racing style looking bike. We need to change the wheels, put 17 inch in, the rest of the models are 19. Let's go for like a twin brakes in the front, twin calipers, just make it like like a road racing kind of bike, nose cone, drop the bars on it, belly pad, change the pipes and it comes up and out the back of the seat, put loads of bits of carbon fibre on it, sign it. That's pretty much it really. So it is part of the Spitfire family, but it's got my stamp on it, and I'm really, I was a bit nervous about it first. I wasn't sure what people think, but it's gone down so well. Everybody said it looks absolutely, I mean, even the colour, I wasn't sure how the colour would look, but everyone said it looks absolutely amazing, so I'm so pleased that everybody likes it. And so I was a bit nervous, maybe why not like it, but no, it's got a thumbs up on it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was great to see that from being sat in the same office space and seeing you come in. And if we're honest, it probably started off as a very different kind of template, and gradually we would see you and your personality and of course, your heritage being transposed onto this bike.
Yeah, like I said, I knew what I wanted, and when I sat down with Chris, I thought he might be miles away from where I want to be, and he said exactly the same as me. You need to make it feel associated with what people would associate you with, and that's a sporty-looking, performance-looking racing bike, what I raced back in the 90s. So. Yeah, it's come out really, really well. I'm really, really pleased. I rode it obviously for the first time about 3 weeks ago. I had a bit of fun with it. Great for wheelies, by the way. Yeah, all good.
On that private strip of road that we
I'm on my driveway, not on the public road. Obviously, that would be naughty. But no, it's like I say, it's a company I know well, to be honest, and the family. Austin's dad, Alan, who sadly passed away a few months ago, he built me a supermoto bike back in 2000, 2001, so the connection has always been there really in the background for a long, long time, and I'm just really pleased and excited to be on board with it now in more of a role where I'm getting involved and not just turn up and smile and sort of thing, So
you've got any plans to do any more racing, or maybe certain experience put you off that from...
Yeah, I've been banned from racing. After my last little incident at a thing called Dirt Quake, where I was going really well and got a bit carried away. I won all the heat races and I wanted to win the final at the first corner, and I don't know what happened, but it ended up in the back of an ambulance with a few broken ribs, a punctured lung and a knackered shoulder blade, but Mrs F wasn't too happy. Well, neither was I really, but yeah.
It's quite bizarre after everything you've done. The speeds that you've raced at, something that looked quite innocuous. It's probably one of your worst injuries ever.
It's crazy. I mean, just riding around with a lot of punters in an oval. Like what could possibly go wrong? I was on a ridiculously powered motorcycle for that kind of thing at the time, to be honest. But because I got really quick in all the heat races, I thought I just want to get into front and win the final straight as soon as I can. Yeah, it did us a plan, but I love riding bikes. Look, I mean, maybe racing sometimes, I shouldn't be doing that now, but I just love riding bikes, love being associated with bikes, and I can't wait to get out of this on the road, and especially in the summertime, and I love being off-road as well. My mates and do a lot of off-road down with my mates and that, so I've got to Spain a couple of times a year, so I just love riding bikes.
The competitive spirit's still there, so if you're not racing, what else are you doing to, let's say, have a bit of fun?
Just riding bikes for fun, really, to be honest. That's it, really. I've just come back from actually a bit of a challenge. For me, it was hard for me. I was did a 2 weeks away in South America, in Patagonia. Did a 7-day trek across Patagonia, which is a stunning place for the NSPGC. And I don't even like walking. I hate it. Kind of all the injuries I've had to my legs, constant jarring. Walking with like 15 kilograms on your back for like 2 or 3 days, when you're camping out stuff. It wasn't easy for me, you know what I mean? And people say, oh, you're only walking, but when you've had a lot of injuries, I do quite a bit of cycling, that's what I do to keep myself fit. I love cycling, a bit of mountain biking, but when the NSPCC asked me to do stuff, I don't like saying no, but I just wish they asked me to do something on a motorbike or a push bike instead of freaking walking up to it hurts, but I managed to do it, did the 7 days and raise a bit of money, and Secondly, I've had a busy few months, to be honest. Yeah, the book out obviously earlier on this year. We've got these 2 new replica helmets out with LS2 helmets, so busy doing some promotion with them. So it's a lot of things have been happening recently, a lot of things, yeah.
Just on that NSPCC though, you can still pledge some money for this fantastic cause. What's the web address?
It's a Just Giving page I've set up, so you go to Just Giving, I think it's / whatever you do, I don't know, the fundraising Fogarty as it's called, on Just Giving. So if you want to leave us a few quid, I'll leave it on until the end of November, hopefully get a bit more money in there. So yeah, it's a charity that's quite close to my heart, so yeah, cheers.
Yeah. Well, you won King of the Jungle. What was the highlight and the low light of that competition?
Well, the highlights, wouldn't it? I mean, it's the biggest show on TV by a mile, to have that much public support. It's incredible. You know, I thought I'd be the first one out. If everybody will hate me, I'll kick off everybody and I'll be the first one out. But totally opposite. So the best thing, I was the best thing in the world to go through 3 weeks cut off from the outside world. A bunch of strangers eating pretty much rice and beans and a few cockroaches for a few days. To win it is just unbelievable. But I think the worst thing was drinking that deer's blood. Fuck, that was awful. That was. I didn't like that at all. I'll never go at anything, maybe, but when I smelt that and started drinking it, I thought, this is going to come straight back up. All lumpy and gritty and stunk a bit as well, like a bit of hard liver in there and a few eyeballs. It wasn't good, but apparently it's quite good for you, a lot of protein in there. Few trips to the toilet the day after, but kept it down.
So it's like liquid Atkinson diet, isn't it?
No, honestly, it's put me off. I can't even look at a glass of red wine now the same.
And what about the rest of your TV careers? You've got a few other things that you've done and other things in the pipeline?
You know what, TV, it don't really bother me and stuff like that. I've been asked to do celebrity, like I said, I've got asked to do Strictly Come Dancing this year, and I've been asked to do Dancing on Ice, and I'm not, you hear me, I'm not, you know, the one I always thought maybe was the one I've done, and you know, I love camping out, love being outdoors, I've done that. I mean, I've been asked to do that Celebrity MasterChef, I just think, there's no chance, I can't cook for shit, you know, and I said yes about 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought, well, I'll watch it this year, so I watched the first show. I thought, I won't last 2 minutes on here, really. Then 2 poncy twats behind you saying, your presentation's all wrong. There's only one place that food's going to go, that's right, his face, you know what I mean? So, nah, it ain't for me, that. I tell you, I did one last night for them, but I recorded one in London last night with the girl who's currently the Queen of the Jungle, Toff. We did you'll piss yourself when you watch this one, because I was absolutely hopeless on it. It was, I've just done celebrity catchphrase. Say what you see. I couldn't see anything. I kept seeing people having sex and I thought, that's not the answer. Sorry.
I don't know where to go with this now. No, well, it's brilliant here having you, but we're really proud to have you as part of the CCM family. The other thing is you put me out of a job, because I used to get a chance to ride the bikes and test them, and now I'm redundant now. We've got you on board. The CCM bikes, they've always handled, but to have somebody who really knows how to ride, to put their influence into the bikes, is something really fantastic. So it's great to have you here.
Yeah, cheers. It's good to be back on board with, like I said, my mates and my family that I've known very, very well. Yeah, good to be back. Yeah.
Well, Carl's on tonight over at the casino at 7.
Oh yeah, I've got a chat show tonight at the sports bar at the casino. So come over, listen to me talk a lot of shit, and we'll get pissed up. You good then?
Brilliant. Thanks, Carl. Thanks everybody for coming along.
Cheers,
and we'll talk to you later. Cheers.
So,